Welcome back to the Den of Nerds. I am Josh, and guys, Marvel's doing that thing again. You know that thing where they say the next Marvel movie is going to be like Winter Soldier. And this is, of course, because Winter Soldier remains the best film Marvel has ever made. Probably. There's some debate about this. There's some other movies that are really good in the catalog. But Winter Soldier was like that moment, right? It was that moment when Marvel kind of put its big boy pants on.
I got big boy pants on!
It kind of stepped into the sun and became more accessible to normies, while also just making a product that was just so fucking good it could stand up next to other classic films. They're doing it again. There's scoopers and people out there saying that this is like Winter Soldier, but for Spider-Man. So that's what I want to dig into in this video, because believe it or not, this time I actually know what they mean by it, and it is kind of interesting. So this all comes from My Time to Shine Hello. She's been teasing that she knows a lot about what is going on in this film, including who the actual secret villain is, which we'll talk about in a second. But one of the things she said that was really wild was saying that this movie, Spider-Man Brand New Day, is like Winter Soldier, but for the Spider-Man character. Now, she didn't actually say that this thing's going to be like of Winter Soldier quality. She said that for the character of Spider-Man, it's going to be similar to what was going on to the character of Steve Rogers in the Winter Soldier. So I guess the first question is like, what does that mean? Well, in the Winter Soldier, you have Cap, who's kind of like this hero out of time. He's living in the modern world, and he's trying to understand who are the bad guys. The whole film is kind of about moral ambiguity, and the character of Nick Fury represents something like an anti-hero. This is somebody who clearly wants the same goals that Steve Rogers wants, which is like a better world, a more safe world, a protected world. But Nick Fury is so willing to compromise on his morals, and he does all of these morally questionable things that Steve would not do. Like, Steve Rogers has this belief that you just don't compromise on your morality, otherwise you become the villain. It's like this slippery slope argument. However, as Nick Fury states in the film, his generation, the greatest generation that did fight against Hitler and Germany, that generation compromised a lot. They did a lot of messed up stuff, which Cap admits to doing, but he says we did it so people could be free. Now taking away freedom again, that's not the victory that we went for. Anyway, probably terrible fucking explanation on that, but the point is, in the movie of Winter Soldier, Steve's morality is juxtaposed against modern sensibilities and what modern morality is, and literally other heroes of the modern age. And yet Steve is trying to hold to his individual principles, and that's really what the movie's about. Now, there's this whole other element with Bucky, right? Of course, Bucky represents the old time, the family, just the life before going into the ice, the life before the modern age for Steve Rogers. He's his best friend, but he also just represents a piece of the past. And that piece of the past is literally weaponized against him, is used as this tool. His friend is used as something like a Terminator Manchurian candidate killer, which is so crazy, right? It's such a vile thing. That's a crazy way to violate a person. And then to have that person then confront his old friend in Steve Rogers and attempt to kill him. It's this story of like not giving up on your friend, which connects to not giving up on your principles, right? Like this whole movie is basically putting the morality of Steve Rogers to the test against both friend and foe who see the world differently, right? And it's about Steve's principles winning in the end, right? He's able to inspire a whole bunch of other people to step up in small ways and ultimately save the day because of it. And then he goes on to sort of change a lot of the perspective of other folks. Nick Fury kills that project, you know, sees things a little bit differently and all that. So then how does that relate to the character of Peter, right? And this is interesting because beyond just hearing that it's going to be like Winter Soldier, a lot of other scoopers like Daniel RPK and others have indicated that Brand New Day is going to take a major tonal shift and be very dark, which seems kind of wild, right? Like at first I didn't quite get that, because Spider-Man is just so hopeful. The suit looks so colorful. Even the action scenes they're shooting looks really hopeful and colorful. However, I've seen a couple of other shots of the suit that make me think, oh man, yeah, this is going to get dark, and this is all going to work together. Point is, there's a lot of evidence to say that this movie's going to get dark. And even long before we saw any of the set footage and we knew about some of the more, you know, recent villain rumors and all of that, there were indications that the movie was going to be dark. And I just keep coming back to this thing that Alex Perez was talking about, where the spell worked so good that even Peter himself has started to forget who Peter Parker was. He's so obsessive about being Spider-Man that he's unable to have a balance. His real life's probably falling apart. He's probably barely existing as Peter Parker. And maybe he's even losing sight of his own morality in some ways. Now, this is where the character of the Punisher comes in my opinion. By the way, none of this is confirmed. This is just my speculation based off all the things that the insiders and scoopers are saying. I believe Punisher will come in and kind of represent the Nick Fury of it all. In the same way that Cap's morality was being put to the test because Nick Fury was going to take extreme measures to try to protect the world, I think Peter Parker's morality will be put to the test because Punisher is going to take extreme measures, like literally extreme, to try to take the villains out and protect the people of New York City. Possibly protect them from Hulk and other crazy threats as well. But the main thing here is Punisher is going to want to kill, and Peter is not going to want to. That's going to be a sort of core principle of Spider-Man, a core principle of Peter Parker. However, I'm really interested to see how this will happen as Peter's forgetting his own morality, right? If he's forgetting who he is a little bit, how is that going to work? Is he going to start to see the point that Punisher is trying to make? Is that the whole point? Are they trying to drive Peter to killing so that he changes and becomes something else, something dark? So I basically think that's what everybody's referring to when they speak to the Winter Soldier comparisons. And I think it's going to be cool, man. It's going to be really interesting to sort of deconstruct the Spider-Man character in the wake of all the crazy stuff that has happened for Peter, the loss of Aunt May, the spell, everything. And he's just trying to protect the neighborhood at this point, but it looks like things are going to get fucking crazy, right? All these different villains, the bar with no name, which indicates maybe just a ton of Spider-Man villains all in one place. Hulk, Punisher, Scorpion, who keeps teasing the Venom symbiote, which is crazy because Mark Goggin does become Spider-Man with the Venom symbiote in the Dark Avengers run, which is crazy because I think they might be heading in a Dark Avengers direction. And then the other thing that's crazy is we do have some rumors now about who the main villain of the film is going to be. There's been a lot of mystery about this, right? However, recently, Jeff Snyder has said that Carrie Coon is rumored to be playing the main villain in Spider-Man Brand New Day. Oh, hi, editor Josh here. I just wanted to tell you this part isn't true. So Jeff Snyder came forward, I think like the following morning, and said that sources got back to him and Carrie Coon is not in this film. Now, I'm leaving this section in the video because I still think there could be a female villain. It's not Carrie Coon. There could be an additional villain, you know, like I get into in this video anyways, but I just wanted to tell you it's not going to be Carrie Coon, but it still could be a female villain. Okay, back to the video. If you don't know who Carrie Coon is, she's actually a really accomplished actress. She played Proxima Midnight in Infinity War, and apparently there was some weird thing where she wasn't getting paid enough to come back for Endgame, so she decided not to come. So, however they figured this out with her, they likely did give her a much larger payday. Jeff said she will not be playing Proxima Midnight, so she's probably an all-new villain. Now, my theories on this are kind of wild. Number one, I think she could be Silver Sable. Silver Sable is an assassin, sort of a mercenary femme fatale character from the Spider-Man comics. She's fucking awesome, really badass, and could actually explain some of the Eastern ties as well, as she does take a lot of Eastern influence in her character design, her iconography. There were rumors that Silver Samurai was going to be in this thing too, so maybe he's involved in some way, or maybe it's just as simple as she is there as Silver Sable and she has some Japanese-inspired henchmen or allies or something. Like maybe that's what we're doing here, or maybe she's someone else. Like there were rumors of Spider Queen, so maybe she's playing the Spider Queen, which would be wild. I even think she could be playing Emma Frost, which I know is really crazy, but there's still some rumors that Sadie Sink is going to be playing Jean Grey. Now that's a whole thing, but Jeff Snyder continues to hear that Sadie Sink will be Jean Grey in Spider-Man Brand New Day. And then we had Christian Harloff recently say that she's going to be playing Gwen Stacy and potentially a multiversal variant of Gwen Stacy, or maybe that's something that other scoopers added in addition. Whatever the case, all indications are that the mystery surrounding Carrie Coon or whoever they end up getting as this main female villain and Sadie Sink's character, these are apparently massive spoilers for the film, and they will probably recontextualize everything we are thinking about it. And I know the X-Men thing seems wild, but it wouldn't be so crazy. Spider-Man himself, Black Panther himself were established in an Avengers Avengers-esque movie in a Captain America movie with the Russo brothers before they made their actual solo appearances in their individual films in the MCU. So there's precedence there. Like, Marvel has done this before, so maybe it's the X-Men. And maybe psychics in a world where everybody was forced to forget a certain character, maybe that is interesting because then they could read into his mind, see what happened, and understand sort of the scale of what magic is, and also be like, yo, who are you? How did you get the whole world to forget who you are? I'm a psychic. I know something crazy's going on. I'm reading your mind. This is not okay. That could be what it is. I'm not really sure, guys, but either way, the connections to Winter Soldier, what I think they're doing with Punisher as far as being like the Nick Fury to Steve Rogers from Winter Soldier, I think that's on point, and I'm pretty excited about a lot of these other possibilities. So just wanted to update you about all the new stuff when it comes to Spider-Man Brand New Day. Let me know what you think about all these different rumors in the comment section below. As I always say, I hope you are having an awesome and a nerdy day, and I'll see you in the next video.